All right, so as you guys know, this weekend that just passed, we got the brand new Lost Jungle update. On top of that, as an added bonus, we also had the anniversary update the day after. Well, it is currently Wednesday, which means that we are officially midweek, and of course, this Saturday, we're going to be having another update, as you guys saw from the title and thumbnail of this video. Now, besides us getting brand new content, there's also going to be a lot of big changes, which, as a matter of fact, some of these have sort of already taken place. For example, a lot of you have commented, especially on my video yesterday, asking about the Aurora totem over here, which, as all of you probably know by now, it has been changed from its previous price to now 5 mil. Now, if you weren't in a Discord, this might be a surprise to you, but as a matter of fact, they did a really extensive sort of like poll with pretty much everyone in the Discord, trying to come up with a solution here on how exactly they could nerf the Aurora, mainly because Nick sort of felt, and not really only just Nick, to be honest, a lot of people in the community felt that Aurora's just sort of lost its touch. If you guys are with the game in the OG days, you know that a lot of us used to farm Auroras in the most efficient way just to be able to make the most amount of money. For example, during my streams and in some of my videos, we used to have lobbies entirely full where we would use individual people to basically pop an Aurora, and it's how we kept the cycle in order to sort of be able to afford it and still make it profitable. Well, obviously, fast forward now many months, and from what I'm hearing, the average person in an Aurora can make anywhere between 2 mil to 5 mil now, which is absolutely absurd. I have no idea how they're pulling that off, but more power to them, I guess. But if you notice here, 6,000 votes went ahead and said yes, that Aurora does need a nerf, or I guess not really a nerf, but as they defined it here, it needs to feel more special. Aside from that, it does seem like the community wants to see a level cap increase, but while at the same time not including sort of these extremely overpowered rods, like for example, you know, Seraphic Rod or the Astral Hook, attached to all of these max levels. And again, another overwhelming support here, 92% out of 6,200 votes. But anyways, I don't really want to go over every single one of these polls because, dude, this went on for, it feels like 2 hours. There was poll after poll after poll, and they even went into sort of like the details of what changes could be made to the Aurora and how they sort of came up to the conclusion of setting it to 5 mil while adding an extra 2x luck to it. Now, there's actually an admin event going on right now, so it's a bit dark at the moment. All right, there we go. Now we're good. But yeah, either way, like I was saying before, all of these polls were done, I believe it was shortly after they had this entire sort of like Q&A conversation with everyone inside of the Discord server on a stage. Give or take, I believe there was about 1,600 people there. So a lot of you may have missed out on this information, which is a pretty decent amount of stuff that we're going to probably be seeing for this weekend, aside from the new content that I'm going to show you guys in just a little bit. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Roblox Fish on X over here. He's actually one of our content creators. I believe his name goes by AmazeBot, but he actually went ahead and collected a lot of the information that was said inside of the Q&A. Unfortunately, I didn't record the Q&A even though I was in there, but I just sort of want to give you guys a visual thing that you can look at. But yeah, if you notice right here, Aurora totems will be buffed and made more expensive. Again, this is already active in the game right now. The level cap may be increased, something that the community said yes to, but the devs haven't exactly said yes to. So it is a possibility, and it was talked about not only during the poll, but also in the Q&A. So maybe it's something that we could see in the future. In the polls, it was also mentioned about rebalancing the old event rods. One thing that they did point out about this is that majority of these rebalances are going to be buffs. So don't be expecting any crazy nerfs or anything like that. At least that's what they said. Another one that I want to point out here is some recent masteries will be made a little easier. This one right here is something that a lot of people have been asking for, and it's great, but I do want to point out that Nick made it very clear that he has no plans on touching the Oniri Falx one. So just keep that in mind for those of you that are hoping that that becomes a little bit easier. He was extremely, he even shared some words that I cannot share in this video, but yeah, he said that that is not going to be changing. Another big one is boats will be favorable now. This is something that I'm looking forward to just because there's specific boats that I like to use that have the highest speed, and I would really prefer if they were just sort of at the very top when I open up that boat menu. Finally, the Wind Elemental Rod. This one is something that a lot of you have really been complaining about, so if you haven't gotten it yet, I would suggest that you hold off on that until they make those changes. And for those of you that have already completed it, well then, good for you guys, honestly. Now let's transition over into the newer content. As you guys know, On October 18th, we are going to be receiving the Fisch Fright event. This is by far the most sought after event throughout the entire year when it comes to Fisch, mainly because it is by far the most favorited update since Fisch released, even though technically speaking, it released during October. So it was kind of like the first major limited event sort of for the game. But either way, as you can see here, almost 500,000 people are interested. Not any information so far, besides the fact that it is confirmed now for October 18th. And it does seem like this event is going to last quite some time because it looks like it's ending on November 1st. So you'll have all of October to be able to take part in this Fisch Fright. Well, I guess not all of it, but you know what I mean, like kind of the half end of October. But as you can see on the screen right here, it does seem like we're going to be getting some type of a volcano update before that Fisch Fright event comes, because this picture was shared with us inside of the content creator Discord server, where it does seem like a giant fire or lava crab is inside of the volcano. I'm pretty sure this is the inside of the volcano. If we go ahead and take a look at this shot right here, looking at these rocks down here in the bottom, obviously the centerpiece right here, with of course the zip line at the very top here, that is quite literally this shot right here. So something is going down inside of the volcano. What is it? I have no idea, and I'm excited to read the comment sections to see what you guys think. I will say I'm kind of interested to see why it's so huge and outside of the lava. It's definitely giving me like boss fight vibes, which is kind of weird. I feel like, yes, a good amount of people have asked for that, but at the same time, on the flip side, I've also seen a lot of people talk about how they don't want to see boss fights. I don't know, man. It's kind of like one of those touchy subjects. And I'm definitely looking forward to reading the comment sections on this to see what you guys are thinking. For all we know, man, it could end up just being a huge NPC that is pretty much just preparing us for Fisch Fright. Which, as a matter of fact, coming back over here to the Fisch News X page over here, I do want to show you guys something that honestly is kind of interesting that Nick said this, but if you notice right here, Nick basically said, no glaze, no overhype, but I firmly believe this Fisch Fright will be the greatest update I've ever done. During my live stream, you guys probably remember that I said this multiple times. There is some really big shoes to fill when it comes to Fisch Fright this year, because again, like I've said numerous times already, Fisch Fright of last year is by far the most coveted update for the entire game. Everyone absolutely loves it. It wasn't really anything too crazy, but it's just one of those updates that sort of stuck with everyone for a really long time, especially since the Nessie was evolved. And just overall, it felt like a really exciting thing. You know, we had rewards like the Haunted Rod over here, which is still something that a lot of people wish they could get their hands on today. Another big reward that was given was the Flying Dutchman. This is also another thing that a lot of people that are new to the game have never gotten to experience. It's exciting to see, man. I'm hoping that we get a lot of rewards, just that it's overall a really engaging update, because I know one thing's for sure, we'll be covering everything here on the channel. I'll keep you guys updated if any information does come out. But either way, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you again soon, because I know that we're going to end up getting more information. But that's going to do it for this video. Like always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.